under radar flex, good looking. Those who know this is an expensive watch. Solid gold, crazy expensive. And it's probably a cooler statement as well. The watch that we're gonna look at today, I feel a little bit conflicted about, and that doesn't mean that I wanna criticize it, but I'm too scared to do so. I feel conflicted not about the watch. I love the watch. I feel conflicted about the execution, maybe the timing. I feel like Tudor has perhaps missed the boat on this watch. And the boat being that massive explosion of prices post-COVID. This is the kind of new Tudor BB58 in solid 18 karat gold. Tudor is known for being the brand that offers a lot of watch for the money. It's not an opinion, that is just fact. Their watches are good looking, they have high performing moods, they have this big connection to Rolex, but also having their own genuine heritage, and then the package themselves are very fairly priced. But then you have this, £27,000 solid gold BB58. Now this watch isn't new, as I mentioned, but as a package with the bracelet, this is a new offering. And it's interesting to see Tudor, again, a brand kind of known for being the everyman's version of Rolex, creating this epically expensive and really leaning into this solid gold watch. When I first saw this watch, when it was originally launched on a leather strap, I thought this watch is crazy. It doesn't really make sense. And now Tudor has done it on the bracelet, it even more so doesn't make sense. It's the reference M79018V. It's got an 18 karat yellow gold case. The whole thing is brushed, and we'll come on to why the bracelet doesn't have rivets in a second. The case is 39mm wide, it's 12.7mm thick, it's 20mm lugs, a screw down crown, which gives it 200 meters of water resistance. And I don't often mention the weight of the watch, but this weighs 193 grams. The movement inside is Tudor's in-house MT5400. This is an automatic cost certified movement, and it has 70 hours of power reserve. And to prove that this isn't a sponsored video, I'm sponsoring this video. Bark and Jack, this is my company. We sell watch straps and watch accessories, but we also have sexy enamel mugs. This mug is 18mm wide. I don't know what the thickness is. It doesn't have a lug to lug, but it holds 11.8 ounces of liquid, which is perfect for your coffee. You can get these sexy mugs and sexy straps over at barkandjack.com, but let's get back to the watch. Tudor first dove into the luxurious space of using precious metal when they did their S&G range. The S&G stands for steel and gold, but they couldn't call it gold because, by law, if you call something gold, it has to be solid gold. The gold parts in the S&G watches wasn't solid gold. It wasn't gold plated, nor could it be classed as gold capped because the gold part was really quite significant, but essentially it had a steel core. In 2021, they then launched this watch, the BB58 in 18 karat gold, but it was only available on a strap. If you bought the watch then, you can actually buy the bracelet now. That will obviously fit onto that watch, but it's going to cost a cool 17,000 Swiss francs. This bracelet is arguably one of the best bracelets on the market. If you could get it in steel, it would most certainly be one of the best bracelets on the market because it has the T-fit clasp, but also because it doesn't have the faux rivets. And the reason that it doesn't have faux rivets is simply because they wanted the whole watch to be brushed gold, and you can't get a solid finishing when you have those little details of the rivets. You have these little crevices, these little creases that you can't get into and finish to the level that they wanted to finish it. Now, my skeptical mind simply kicks in then and wants to figure out a more commercial reason as to why that was. Could it be because there'd be more wastage when creating those riveted sides? By having the flat sides, you've got a more simple surface to machine, and therefore there's less gold flying around. Now, the design of this watch isn't new. The specifications are exactly the same as the steel BB58. The differences are obviously the fact it's gold, and then we have a different dial color and different bezel color. But apart from that, the only real difference is then the price, and that's obviously the big talking point. This costs £27,610, and the Big Brother version, the solid gold Submariner, costs £34,000. I feel like if you're in a position to spend £27,000 on a watch, then you're probably in the position to spend £34,000 on a watch. If you take that literally, that doesn't really make sense. But if you've got a shit ton of money to spend on a watch, then you can probably push to have a little bit more of that shit ton of money to spend on a watch. The reason you'd buy a solid gold Submariner is because it's one massive flex. But to us watch geeks, us who understand watches, know that it isn't actually that big a flex. Yes, you've spent a lot of money on a watch, but you haven't thrown that money away. If you spend £34,000 on a solid gold Submariner, wear it for a couple of years, you'll probably lose between £3,000 to £4,000. Now, if you buy a £27,000 solid gold Black Bay 58, wear it for a few years, and try and sell it, you'll lose between £5,000 to £6,000. So if you're looking for a real fuck you symbol, a real flex, and I kind of feel like this is more of a flex, kind of an under radar flex, but then it's solid gold. And this is why I find this watch conflicting. It's good looking, but it's also crazy expensive. It's from a brand that is known for being good value for money, and this isn't. But if you're a person who wants to show off wealth, I feel like this is a bigger opportunity to do so. And it's probably a cooler statement as well. I would love to see one of these in the wild. I'd love to go to a watch meetup and see this on the table. That'd be much more interesting than a solid gold Submariner. A few pros and cons about this watch. The tapered bracelet with the T-fit clasp is phenomenal. Tudor makes fantastic bracelets. The T-fit clasp is absolutely brilliant. And it's also interesting because Tudor had to do some playing around with this T-fit clasp because steel is strong and gold isn't. And so they had to play around and do a lot of testing with this. Perhaps that's why they didn't launch it with the original watch, because they hadn't got that clasp ready. I do like the fact that this is solid 18 karat gold. There's something sexy around gold, and I really like the fact that this is done in a Tudor way, with it being brushed as opposed to being overly flashy and polished. And then the cons are the movement isn't META certified. Tudor can make META certified movements. They've done it in their Black Bay 58 GMT. They've done it in their Black Bay range. I kind of feel like if you're spending this level of cash on a watch, then you want everything to be thrown at it. And then another con is obviously the price. 27 grand is a lot of money. And that kind of leads me on to the next bit about alternatives. An alternative for this watch would obviously be a solid gold Rolex Submariner. My choosing would be the one with the black dial. The blue looks sexy and cool, but there's something rock and roll, something more aggressive about the black dial version. If you wanted to go down the elegant sporty route, you could go for a Vacheron Constantin in pink gold. This costs £24,500, saving you a bit of cash, but granted, it's on a strap. Or you could go for the Glashütte original CQ Panorama Date. This is in solid red gold, costs £23,500, but I actually prefer this in the two-tone with the grey dial. I've had this on the channel and this is absolutely gorgeous. Now, although all of those I feel are suitable alternatives, they're all in precious metal, they're all sporty watches, relatively sporty, they don't have that vintage touch. They aren't the size of the Black Bay 58. Arguably, they're all superior watches to the 58. But if you're wanting an FU watch, I kind of feel like this is more of that statement. And that's why I kind of feel a bit conflicted. What do you guys think? Has Tudor missed the boat on this super expensive dive watch? Or is it ultimate flex? Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you want to support this channel, jump over to barkandjack.com and check out the watch straps and watch accessories and sexy mugs that we've got over there. If you're on Instagram, give me a follow at barkandjack. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button down there if you like the style of video, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.